Namaste, Prakash here. Welcome to the next episode of Dharma Tales. Let's debate. In this episode, we are going to look at one of the most interesting stories of a valiant warrior who gave his life for a cause in Mahabharata. I am going to share the story of Abhimanyu, the birth, the growth, and how he met his death, and the multiple dimensions that the story will take us through from multiple perspectives that people actually make this story to happen. And what are the Dharmic values that we can learn? Does end justify the means, or means are more important than the end? All these are going to be analyzed by us after going through this story. As many of you might have known, Abhimanyu is the son of Arjun, the third of the Pandava, who was married to Subhadra, the sister of Lord Krishna. And while she had conceived Abhimanyu, one of the story goes that Lord Krishna was sharing with Arjun the method of entering Chakravyuha and how to win if the enemy comes out with a formation called as Chakravyuha, which is considered to be one of the most difficult. It is said that on the side of Pandavas, there were only two who had the complete knowledge when the Mahabharata war, the Kurukshetra war started. One was Lord Krishna himself, the other was Arjun. While he was teaching Arjun, Lord Krishna, knowing what the future is going to be, he knew that Abhimanyu had to be there on that given day to fight the war, and it was going to be Chakravyuha. At the same time, there is a twist to the story that I would share towards the end, which meant that Abhimanyu, in spite of his valor and whatever victories that he was to get that day, was not supposed to get out alive. And hence, what he does is, in some way, in a very subtle way, he makes Subhadra to go to sleep. And because the mother has gone to sleep, the child in the womb of the mother, which is to be born as Abhimanyu, does not hear the second half of the formation of Chakravyuha, how to get in and how to get out. This was part of Lord Krishna's mega plan. And let's now fast forward a bit and look at the 13 years exile that the Pandavas had. During this time, Subhadra, who had given birth to Abhimanyu, decides to stay back with her brothers, Krishna and Balaram. And it is in this formative years that the best of the warcraft has been taught to Abhimanyu, both by Krishna and by Balaram. And that really has made him a very, very strong and valiant warrior. When the Kurukshetra war starts, the first 10 days, it's all about Bhishma and Pandavas. At the end of 10 days, when Bhishma falls, and from the 11th day onwards, Pandavas in some way lose the steam, specifically Arjuna. He goes back into one of his modes of not knowing how to get out of what he believes was he being the cause of the death of his favorite grandfather, Pitama Bhishma. And Lord Krishna has to cook up something to ensure that Arjun comes back to life. And that was part of the mega plan. On day 12, on this side, when Lord Krishna is planning out all that stuff, on the other side, Duryodhana now decides, with the help of Dronacharya and Karna, who has now entered the war field, that the best way to finish off Pandavas is not by winning against Arjuna and others, because they find that it was much beyond their scope, specifically after Bhishma had gone. So what they decide is to ensure that in some way they corner the king of the other side, which is nothing but Dharma or Yudhishthira. And if in some way they can either arrest him or get him killed, they believe that the job will be done. And hence they make a mega plan. Dronacharya comes out with a master plan of deceiving Arjun and taking him out to a different direction altogether. In engaging him in war elsewhere, and then draw Dharma into the view that they are going to make the next day. And the plan, everything goes on well. But they did not actually count for Abhimanyu. Because in their view, only Arjun and Krishna knows how to get in and get out. And Krishna not fighting the war, and with Arjun being taken away, with Krishna being in the wheels of the chariot, they thought that the job was done. And as they were being lured into that Chakravyuha which Dronacharya had formed, Abhimanyu takes the lead. He tells his paternal uncles that I will lead the show because I know how to get in. Dharma and their paternal uncles, they all know that Abhimanyu will only be able to make it in but not get out. And then, but they decide that somehow when they enter, they will also get in and fight their way out and ensure that they get back out. And as the whole thing unfolds, as they near the entrance, the peripheral edges of the Chakravyuha, it so happens that Jayadratha comes out and stops all the 4 Pandavas who are there and ensures that only Abhimanyu is left into the circle. And as Abhimanyu enters the circle, the Chakravyuha closes behind him. And obviously he knows that he cannot get out because he doesn't know how to get out. Only his father knows. But he still valiantly goes ahead. And then what he does is he kills one after another, some of the biggest warriors, some of the foster brothers of Karna's, children of Dushadan, one of the son of Duryodhan. And it goes on, and all of them get really furious. It so happens that all of them almost simultaneously come and attack Ashwatthama, Duryodhan, Dushadan, Sakuni, Karna, Dronacharya. All of them come together to attack this small kid who was just 16 years old. And yet he bravely takes them head on and literally defeats all of them. And then they change tact. All along, in that war, it was agreed that it will always be a one-to-one fight. And they all break Dharma. And then they all come together to attack this small boy, all of them together one at a time. And so happened that even after that, he was giving them a tough fight. And then Karna, in one way, breaks the bow of Abhimanyu. He still doesn't give up. He gets down, takes a mace, takes whatever is in hand, and still he starts fighting. And then Ashwatthama closes in on him and slowly gets out all the other fighting tools that he has in his hand. Literally now he is cornered on the battlefield, surrounded by all these giant of warriors who shamelessly attack him together, giving a go to all the accepted principles of warcraft. Yet what he does is he takes one of the cartwheel and he still fights through. And he's still able to manage. At this time, they all get down, pull their the knives out, and they stab him from all sides, and then that's how Abhimanyu falls. There is a twist to the tale, of course, here. How many of you are aware that actually Abhimanyu, in his previous birth, was the son of moon god himself? And when the Devas wanted him to take birth in the world to be part of the Mahabharata, Chandra, Lord Moon, he very clearly says that I love my son too much. I cannot be without him for too long. Even if I have to send him, I'll send him only for 16 years. And that is apparently one of the reasons he gets killed when he was just 16. This Lord Krishna is aware. See how things unfold. On one side, there is a master plan which Dronacharya makes along with Duryodhana to corner Yudhishthira. On the other hand, Jayadratha fights the Pandavas out. On another hand, Krishna, knowing well that Abhimanyu is going to be cornered, deliberately allows Arjun to be taken out because his plan is to infuriate Arjun by the death of Abhimanyu. And that's what happens in the rest of the 5 days of the war. All this put together brings down a warrior who valiantly stood for the Dharmic cause of ensuring that his paternal uncles are safe. He does not allow them to enter into the Chakravyuha because if it happens, he knows they'll be finished. He gives up his life. Lord Krishna achieves his objective. Duryodhan still goes ahead and loses the cause for which he thought he will make that day turn of events happen. This is a fantastic dharmic value right from the time of conception of Abhimanyu in the womb of Subhadra, from the time where he descended to be born into that family. How everything unfolds, how he learned all the warcraft, yet only to hold forth for one single day on the 13th day of the war. We find that the climax of 13th day is a culmination of multiple facets of a beautiful dharmic war situation which was unfolding. What do we really learn from this? Is Lord right, Lord Krishna right in ensuring that Abhimanyu was to be killed because that will make Arjun to give his best? Or did he just go by the commitment that he had to morally give because he knows that Abhimanyu had to die because he was to go back to join his father, Lord of the moon, Chandra? All these are fascinating subjects that we can keep on discussing. What are the dharmic equations? Do we find such complex situations in our day-to-day life today, in our corporate life, in how nations are being run, how parties fight with each other, people being easily given as scapegoats, victims for an end, the means of being given a go-by? All these are classical situations that we can analyze from multiple dimensions. Please go ahead, when you have the time, look at the comment section below the video where you are watching. Share your thoughts. What are the dharmic values that were being established through the killing of Abhimanyu? What are the points that Lord Krishna was communicating to everybody? What are the things that were running in the mind of Dronacharya? What are the things that were running in the mind of Duryodhan? How does it relate to holding Dharma, upholding Dharma? What are the things that we can learn? There's a lot that we can really contribute by learning from this story. Let's all debate. Dharma Tales, let's debate. Till we meet again, this is Prakash signing off. See you.